searing. So I'm blown away. I'd like to introduce Jovan Adepo, who plays Corey. Jovan is making his studio feature film debut in Fences, and he's known for his role of Michael Murphy in HBO's The Leftovers. Okay, it's my first time meeting you, and you are brilliant in this piece. The piece itself is just amazing. It says in your bio that your family are movie buffs.
Absolutely. My mom's side of the family, they're big theater goers, but my dad's side, they've always been a big fan of the movies.
So what did you think of this film when you first saw it?
I thought it was brilliant. I loved watching the rest of my castmates. They were incredibly talented, so just getting to work with them was one experience, but getting to watch them on the big screen was a completely different one. It was amazing.
And what was your entrance into the world of Mr. Wilson?
I read all of his works in the cycle, and I've workshopped Fences a couple of times in acting class, but I had never had the good fortune of playing Corey on stage like the rest of my castmates. So this was my first time being able to play that part.
I have to say that I'm a huge August Wilson fan. I saw this piece the first time in 1986 on Broadway. Fences was the first time I saw an August Wilson play, and I followed him from then on into all of the cycle to the revival with Viola and Mr. Denzel. So what was your process in terms of just getting in the first audition, meeting Denzel Washington?
Like you said, I had first seen that they wanted to adapt this to a movie. I think the first time that they had released that to the public, the information to the public, was in 2010 or 2011, around the time the revival was finished. And I had just moved to Los Angeles, and I was auditioning and things like that for a lot of different projects. But I just kind of put a note that that's something I wanted to go for. So 5 years later, I booked my first acting job, or my first SAG job was with The Leftovers, and the casting director, Victoria Thomas, had casted me in that show. And as fate would have it, she ended up casting Fences. So agents were like, Jovan is really interested in the part, and they weren't sure if if I was the right type for the part. And of course, everybody was going out for Corey.
Right.
And I had auditioned with Vicky a few times, and then I watched my tape with a couple others, and I think after like the third or fourth audition, I got a call that he wanted me to meet him at Paramount to audition.
So that was the first time you met in person?
That was the first time I met him.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and it was an experience, because I remember, like it was yesterday, it was raining that day when I went to the studios. It was like a movie.
The details.
Right.
Yes.
I walked onto the lot, and I was listening to like this guy in the lobby playing the piano. He was playing like Claire de Lune or something like that. It was just all this extra stuff going on. And I remember I had heard his voice because he was reading another actor. And it was the first time I heard his voice, outside of television or on screen. So I kind of had like a panic attack. I was like, oh man, that's Denzel over there. Oh my God. Get out of here. So I walked outside, and I like had to catch my breath, and Vicky came outside. She was like, "You alright, Jovan?" I was like, "Yeah, I'm fine, man." Maybe a bottle of water or something if you got it. And then I really just had to try to find a way to, bring it back in, because if I wasn't prepared, I wasn't gonna get this job. So the minute that I saw him, he opened the door. He was the kindest, sweetest man that you could ever meet. He was just like, "Jovan, how you doing, brother?"
Yes.
And I was like, "I'm all right." He could tell that I was nervous. I was stuttering and everything. He was just like, "You need to worry about that. I've seen your tape. I know what you can do. Let's come in. Let's play. Let's have a good time." So the experience was definitely the most challenging, but the most rewarding for sure.
Great. So do you think that there's an advantage of Denzel being an actor as well as a director?
I think so, for sure, because I think he's able to see, the process that an actor goes through, day in and day out, coming on set or going on stage, and having to have that openness emotionally and mentally. I think because he knows what you're going through, he's able to kind of set the mood and set the stage for you to get the best results from you.
Yes, what was that like, him directing at one point and then coming in and acting in a scene with you?
I think all of my castmates would say that it was a seamless effort. There was never a moment where he had on his director hat and he would pause everybody, take, put his actor hat on.
Right.
It was, for me specifically, he was always just like a teacher. At any moment, even when we were in scenes together, like the first scene when we have conflict, the how come you never like me, he would, walk on set, and be like, how you feeling, ask me how I was doing, and his first couple goes, the camera's running, but it's just rehearsal, we're just gonna take the rehearsal. And we would just go over, go over the lines, we would just talk it out. We wouldn't even try to do anything acting wise. If he felt I was starting to act something or making choices, he would stop me and we'd start over. He would just be like, just relax, take your time, we'll get there. This is not the stage, this is a film, we have many more takes to do, so just pace yourself. And like I said, he was always just a teacher for me, but it was seamless.
And you said that acting with him, being directed by him, was like being in a master class. What was one of the most important lessons that you learned from him?
To be patient, and that's in a scene and in life, is what he was explaining to me, is just to be patient, not to always search for the end result, or to just rush to get to the destination, just enjoy the journey. And when I mentioned it being a master's class, I said that because in the scenes and even in rehearsals, the first couple weeks we were in Pittsburgh, and as a person, whenever I get nervous or I'm really excited, I can talk really fast. So Denzel, a lot of the times it takes you have to get like everybody stops. So I'm like, okay, you want to take a breathe? Slow down for a minute. You all right? I was like, yeah, I feel good. It's like, you got the job already, babe. You got the job. Let's just relax. You're all right. So that was just something that I learned from him. Was just enjoy it and just let the scene play out as it should.
A lot of the actors are from the revival, the Broadway revival. What was it like for you being a new person to this group, entering it?
Intimidating. It's terrifying. You can imagine because all of my castmates are veterans in the industry and completely brilliant. And even the guy who wasn't able to play Corey Chalk, he did a fantastic job on Broadway. So I had known about his work, and of course Courtney B. Vance's work in 1987. And I put all this pressure on myself because the first day we got to Pittsburgh, you could see that it was like a family reunion. Like everybody just came back, they got the high fives and the hugs and all these inside jokes, and I'm just standing in the corner like trying to laugh, like I know what I'm talking about. Who's the new guy? I had the fortune of knowing Viola beforehand. She's like a mentor of mine, so
Great.
even still, she was just like, good luck, rookie. And it was just, they were completely open. The first day of rehearsal, everybody was just letting me know that they were happy to have me there and that they didn't want me to try to do anything that Chris did or anything that Courtney did. Denzel was especially adamant about letting me know that he wanted me to be my version of Courtney.
Yes.
And this time, not Courtney's or Chris's version.
Right. And what a glorious version you are of yourself, owning this role. This is set in Pittsburgh, and you did shoot it in Pittsburgh. What was that like?
Awesome. It only helps to be able to be in the exact setting. And August's story takes place in the neighborhood amongst the people. A lot of the time you don't get that luxury. Hollywood, you're shooting in a warehouse or a studio or a lot somewhere. So getting to be in a practical house on an actual street in the actual neighborhood where August creates these stories for these characters was only a benefit. It was an advantage for sure.
Now, people talk about the music in the language of August Wilson. And what I'm so thrilled about with this film is that the music is intact. Now, there's a way that Denzel shot this so that the music continued to flow in adapting it to film.
Absolutely. As far as what Denzel wanted to do with directing and how he shot it, I can't really speak on that, but the music is something, reading it in the past when I was in school, I didn't necessarily catch.
And I'm sorry, in terms of music, I'm talking about the language of the piece.
Right. That wasn't something that I really caught until I had gotten this job, and I spent a lot of time with Stephen Henderson. We were all staying in the same residence, so me and him would have a lot of times we would talk in the morning for breakfast, and we would just sit and I would just pick his brain. Stephen is an actual treasure.
Yes, he is. He's a veteran and he's known August Wilson the longest.
Absolutely.
Out of all the
He speaks about him so passionately. You know, so it was something I just wanted to, I could listen to Steven talk all day and just not say anything, because he can just paint that, you know, paint that, that stage for you. He was the one that told me about the rhythm. It was like, he was like, it's a jazz band, man, especially on those moments when Troy's in the backyard and he's telling his story, he's up there lying.
Right.
He's painting it, and it's just, you can snap your fingers to it. And that was something during rehearsals when I sat back and watched them do, you know, go through the scenes. You can see it's there. It's a beautiful thing to witness.
And it's intact in terms of the film, in terms of how Denzel Washington shot it. He didn't want to do a lot of cutting. He wanted the language to flow with each person. Also, what was interesting is that you shot it in sequence. A lot of times with film, you do it, you know, the last scene may be shot first, and then the first scene is shot somewhere in the middle, but this was done in sequence. Can you tell me about that?
That was just another thing that was very fortunate to have. Speaking from my experience in TV, you know.
Right, and rehearsal time.
Absolutely. We had the 3 weeks, about 3 weeks of rehearsal, and Denzel.
Which is unheard of.
It is.
Usually you come to the set, you know your lines, and then you shoot it.
And I know Denzel wanted to have that time, and he says it was for everyone, but I kind of feel like it was just for me to be able to catch up to them, because after the first couple of days, you know, it was a 9 to 5 schedule, like a normal theater schedule, 9 to 5, Monday through Friday for rehearsals. And after the first couple of days, everybody in the cast had it. And it was just like, they never forgot it. Once they got the rhythm down and they got the groove again, it just all came back. So I really needed to catch up, flipping to the pages, make sure I was all booked, and you know, I was able to, you know, stay on with the team. But doing that and then getting to shoot in sequence was very fortunate, and I think he wanted it that way, the best way possible, because you know, it's heavy material, and he wanted us to be able to deal with the emotions and the journey in order, which, you know, Denzel was in complete control, and he had his plan set exactly what he wanted to do, and he executed it perfectly.
Right. We do take that journey.